And we are live. All right. Mysterious monks. You are listening to Transparency and Merit. My name's Joe. I'm here with Winston. Winston, how are you tonight?
I'm doing great.
All right. Looks like we've got some interesting things going on here. Webster is changing their definition. They've agreed to change it. They haven't changed it yet.
Yes.
They're changing definition of racism, which currently says a belief that race is the primary determinant of human traits and capacities, and that racial differences produce an inherent superiority of a particular race. That's the primary.
You know, I'm trying to find, by the way, and it's really difficult, and it shouldn't be, because it used to be, they used to have the etymology, like how when the word first came about.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only been around since the 20th century, the word racism, from my understanding. And I think it was like around 1934. But this should be right off your fingertips. You know, because I Googled how long has the word racism been around, and it's like all this other stuff, but there's nothing about like when that word came about, and there's reason for that. And
modern day book burning.
It is modern. It seems like that. It seems like it is a modern form of book burning. I mean, there are people who believe, yeah, it's kind of a made-up word because it's a 20th century. It's a 20th century invention.
Welcome if you're here listening to the show. All right, let's get into that a little bit. So, did you find any of the etymology?
No, I haven't. I haven't found the etymology of it. I mean, I'm looking briefly, but I haven't found, let's see, racism, Wikipedia. Etymology and definition. Okay. In the 19th century, many scientists believe, and let's see, so it's been redefined, I guess, etymology, the Arab word. Let's see. So, an Oxford English Dictionary. Okay, a shortened term racism in a quote from the following year, 1903. So earlier years racism, but now largely suspended, and cites claims of racialism in 1902. The revised Oxford Dictionary cites a shortened term racism in a quote from the following 1903. Legal, though many countries around the globe have passed laws related to race discrimination, the first significant international human rights instrument was developed by the United Nations. The UN was Universally Declaration of Human Rights. So 1948. So really and truly, these words and really didn't start to come into the vogue, I mean, until the 1930s. Okay, so as history indicates, the popular use of the word racism is relatively recent. The word came into widespread usage in the Western world in the 1930s when it was used to describe social and political ideology of Nazism. So that was the first time that the word was really came into vogue, was in the 1930s, and the definition has, I guess, I mean, at least many social scientists have tried to change that word, and now that and it's only been just now that they recently seem to have been successful with redefining the word. And I think what they're going to do is also define systematic racism, which is prejudice plus power.
And I wonder if anti-racism or anti-Semitism will also be considered for redefinition.
That's a good question. I don't, I think they're more focused on race and the systematic, like the whole systematic power play of that. And it's like I said, it's really absolving people of moral responsibility, and it's kind of a guilt trip kind of thing of racism. And I don't see this as a common good for how people can get along, because it's really perverting things, and it's making people it's really causing people to be angry, and it's not causing people to, if you have to live through this and definitions changing and people moving the goalpost further and further back to what racism means, and the standards keep changing, and the standards are primarily for whites. What good is diversity for whites if standards of conduct continue to change and rules continue to change? It just doesn't seem something that would be workable, or something that whites would basically desire. Now, we hit upon this yesterday a little bit, Joe, but I wanted to kind of further it because this is has just been in the news. Also, George Floyd's funeral was today. Did you watch any of that, Joe? Or I imagine you watched the news.
No, I haven't heard anything about it, really.
And they had a little bit about that, but yeah, it's kind of interesting what they've kind of.
What kind of event was it?
You know what? It was all about. It was all social. I mean, what I saw of it was a bunch of social justice stuff, and near where I live, they had a Black Lives Matter protest, and it's just.
I know there was a big situation here in LA. It was peaceful, but it was a big rally over there in Hollywood today.
Yeah, and it's just well, you know what I mean. The thing is, right now at this moment, you cannot question people, and a lot of these cities have faced a lot of damage, including LA, Portland. Portland has had what happened to the pandemic, the whole pandemic thing. But we've our cities have been completely, a lot of the city, Minneapolis has been completely ravaged by these riots, and it's just it's
I
really
have
bad.
By the way, I've checked out a book. It's called Dictionary of Race, Ethnicity, and Culture. It was written in the early 2000s, and it does a pretty good job of defining these concepts. But it's a pretty interesting concept, especially when you think about it, because you're not able to find. It's tough to find the etymology of racism, but it is based from the Latin word ratio, which means nature or quality.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I mean, and why they're redefining words I mean, I think they're trying to intellectualize certain things, which should be a lot more like you treat people the way you want to be treated. That's the most simple and basic way you treat human beings, and fairness. But they make things much more complex. You have to know the psychology of this person and all this not all
But
this other.
historically, the concept of race always included two crucial elements: culture, right? Cultural and biological dimensions. I think it's really at the root of race and racism. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, more in race is more of a biological. I mean, because you can there are times when you can be of a biological race, uh, or and but be like because I consider sometimes religion and other things to be or the language that you speak part of a different kind of like a different kind of culture. So a lot of things encompass culture, but there are a few things that I guess signify as race. There are people who believe that race is a social construct. I don't necessarily buy into that. I believe there is biology. There are phenotypes. There are different, skin shades, and people certainly, and there are certain, cultural elements that come with race. Not always.
We are taking calls, by the way. If anybody is out there who wants to call and maybe give us their definition of racism, and what do you think Webster will change the definition of racism to?
I think they might add prejudice plus
By the way,
power.
we do have a quick video. I already have it queued up to the part that we have in question. Let's play that.
Simple and surface level. So she emailed Merriam-Webster about.
Uh-oh. Oh, give me some sound.
I think that there's systematic oppression. I basically told them that they need to include that there's systematic oppression upon a group of people. It's not just, oh, I don't like someone. I think everyone really needs to realize what their strengths are and how they can contribute to the movement. And once they do that, I think we're really going to be able to get some places.
Actually.
So how did Kennedy Mitchum, who's 22 years old, get a dictionary of races? How did she get the dictionary to change the word?
So systematic racism, I guess, is a way of saying institutional racism, maybe. What is systematic racism? Forms of racism, the Alberta Civil Liberties Research Union, systematic racism is real, Ben and Jerry's. Election 2020, systematic racism, systematic versus symptomatic. And the myth of systematic racism, here we go. George Floyd's death in Minneapolis has received the Obama narrative enforcement. Doesn't go further than that. Okay, I have to buy their membership if I want to read their.
Oh boy, get the nail polish out.
Yeah, institutional racism. So I mean, that's basically if it's ingrained in the institution. But I mean, I think there's going to start to be institutional censorship. A lot of this stuff is really, it's modern. You know, with this systematic racism and systematic oppression kind of thing, what I think you're going to begin to see is a lot of digital book burning, because it will now be considered, like, oh, this is a definition, this is systematic, and they're basically their words are oppressing me. Their freedoms. Remember when I told you, someone one time said, your liberties and freedoms are coming at the expense of my oppression.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Darren,
And that's
why does the term Black Lives Matter feel racist to me? Now I see color again. It's sad. He wants to know if he's alone here. And he also said, I think about the protests and Black Lives Matter now every time I see a black person lately. They aren't happy. Lots of grumpy faces. All right. So what do you got?
well, you point out a lot of basically it's they aren't, the truth is a lot of them have been taken in by this social justice warrior type of thing. And by the way, now they're coming after your your sponsors. A gentleman from the Galaxy was fired from his job for his wife tweeted about something in I guess it was in Croatian, that language, about like these how she felt about these protesters. And these people are really, I mean, they're really after you. They basically, they have no mercy, and they've tried to get Tucker Carlson, they've tried to get his sponsors to pull from the air. I mean, it's really systematic civil rights is really what it is, I just got a view for this. Someone commented on my link.
Darren says maybe it's just me being a racist. I don't know. Maybe I need to wash some feet.
Yeah. I will never wash any feet.
Will you get on a knee?
No, I won't get on my knees either. Nothing like that will I do. I wonder, I haven't watched this video, but maybe I'll put it. I don't know if I should put it. I'll put it in the chat room, Joe. If you wanna look at it, it's a 20-minute video from about Western civilization, and that is from Mike Norton. And I don't know if you want to take a look at it.
You want to watch some of this?
Yeah, why don't we watch some of it? Just see what he has to say. I find Mike Norton interesting, even though I may not agree with him that often, But
yeah, I can't really get to the link from this way though. You got to send it through to Skype.
Oh, really? Or can I send it through Discord?
Yeah.
All right, let me put it on Discord here.
So we did have a lot of good feedback, by the way, from Zach. He seemed to be a really strong guest. A lot of people like what he was saying.
Yeah. So I put it on Discord. So.
All right. Are we going to be able to get him back?
Oh yeah.
Where did you put it in Discord? Oh, in the chat.
Right here.
All right, I don't see it. Where'd you post it?
I posted it on the. I posted it the last thing that I posted on our private chat where we were talking.
No, it's not there. It's not there.
Oh wait, what am I doing? I didn't put. Okay, I'm an idiot. I didn't put. Hold on, let me. You're right. I didn't. Hold on, let me. Sorry about that. I thought I did, but I didn't. Hold on, let me get to it again, folks. Bear with me.
I'm gonna go eat some nails while he does this.
No, don't you dare.
All right, just get it up so I can post it. Watch some of it. Let's watch it.
Here we go. You're right. I didn't post it. It was a thing or a video. What an idiot I was. My God. All right. I'm going to post it now on Discord. Okay. I posted it in Discord. Damn it.
All right. Is that it?
Yeah, I think it's the last one. Yeah.
I got it. All right. Let's see here. So it's Mike Norton.
Yes.
All right. And let's see if that will. Ah. All right. I think that's working. Watch some of this for a second.
I have traveled the world, self-reflected, and evolved as a character. I am not oppressed. I am not on board with the mainstream narrative. I produce my own funding and can rebuild my language, land, and traditions on my own. Here's my thought process for how. Follow a personal video journey of cultural independence. I don't know about everyone else, but I'd like to get back to Western civilization for once.
That's it?
That's it. Yeah. Ooh. All right.
I thought you said it was a 20-minute video.
No, I said it was a 30. I said it was a 29 second video. So Western civilization. Can we get back to it? And is there, like now, anything that has to do with Western civilization is met with a lot of scorn, by the way. And that's a black man, and he's also said things about other cultures coming into Europe and the like, and making havoc and stuff. And the mainstream media basically doesn't say anything about that because they kind of cover for that shit. I shouldn't have even said the S word, but it is what it is. But I've been rather, like I said, I've been really disappointed in the kind of hive mind that I see, and the fact that a lot of these people, you can't talk to them, you can't approach them. They're just and it doesn't look. It's just an opinion. What I have and what this person has and what I have. All it is an opinion, and I see things differently than you. And they take it so offensively if I don't agree with them. And man, you saw the crowd there. It was the same thing, man. It was just, people spouting platitudes. And just, it's all emotion, and it's all based on hysteria.
Yeah, you had mothers getting up on the microphone, open mic.
It was horrible.
And these mothers were getting up and discussing really personal stories that, you can't verify, but they were clearly there to pull your heartstrings. They weren't based on any, I don't know. It was just her word. So it was really, a lot of information that they were saying that was really just meant to pull you in and I guess get angry with the local police.
Yeah, get angry at the local police, and also white silence is violence. So I have to say Black Lives Matter, and I have to believe in systemic racism. I don't know what that means. I have to believe in these things. This is the most authoritarian thing I've ever seen in my lifetime, Joe. I've never seen.
Did you see this that Darren just posted? All our city workers ordered to take a week of paid leave to mourn the death of Floyd. You gotta be kidding.
Joe, how long did you live in that city for?
Oh, close to a year.
And did you ever think it would be that insane?
I don't understand it. It must be a very different place from. This is a long time ago, but wow. And there were bizarre protests going on in downtown Portland often. There goes the nail polish. How's it working? Yes,
That's doing better. But
double
Joe,
dose.
be honest. To deal with this stuff, you probably need the fattest blunt. Just
Maybe,
to
maybe I'll try nail polish.
yeah, you should. It's like sweetness for your nose, and I'm like not eating sugar, so But did you have any ice cream today, Joe?
No, but I do have some vanilla bean ice cream waiting for me. And I have some brownies, and I never got my Toll House pie, by the way. Are you gonna supply that at some point?
I might. We could look for one.
Yeah, I'm like, you got
Now,
me all worked up.
Yeah. Have you ever had a Toll House pie, Joe?
I don't remember. I'm sure I have. I've been at parties where they were served.
Yeah, tasty. I think a cheesecake topping over the Toll House pie would make just Toll House cheesecake. I think would be like simply amazing. Just me.
The mayor of Los Angeles. I just got a text. Mayor of Los Angeles has tweeted, "LA joins Houston and other cities across the nation in lighting City Hall crimson and gold." Oh man, have we lost our minds? Have we lost our minds?
You know what? I've been telling people about this for years. This whole white guilt phenomenon. And then it's more than social justice.
We used to have a podcast called White Guilt.
People thought I was crazy.
Yes, they did.
And now, look,
including me.
Yeah, and now, what do you think, huh?
Well, I noticed back then, and ever since, double dose.
Yeah.
Ever since then, I get alerts from Google to my email, and I get the alerts that have the words white guilt.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple other keywords in there. And almost every day, there is an article that includes white guilt published somewhere on the internet. And that says a lot. That says a lot. Almost daily, at least 4 days a week, I get alerts. And it's kind of it's always been, ever since we did that show, I've had that alert going, and it's unbelievable to me that it's a content that is protected and placed in the mainstream narrative.
There are people saying now, have you heard about July 12th, 2020? No. The dollar is going to collapse.
The what's going to collapse?
The dollar.
On July 12th?
That's what I've heard.
Well, what's the significance of July 12th?
I don't know.
Let's see. 7.
I can. It's Brother Nathaniel. He's kind of a kooky guy.
It's kind of a 9/11 encode, but I wonder if it's. I haven't heard anything about that. We are. Let's see here. I just want to post the number in case anybody wants to call. You get a lot of calls from Howard. It seems to be the only person. Howard and Bathtub Girl, Angela.
Yeah, and sometimes Debbie.
And sometimes Debbie. Every once in a while.
Well, you know what? I almost want to play a little bit of the.
At the very front of the protest with my hands up, completely unarmed. Completely unarmed. When they started to shoot rubber bullets and flares. We all tried to run the other way, but We were stuck there for 2 hours. 2 hours being tear gassed, shot at, completely trapped. That night when I got home, I slept for about 2 days. I couldn't get out of bed. I was just so tired. And I'm still tired. I'm so tired of the prejudice and racism in this country. I'm tired of the constant fear of being killed, or worse, one of my friends or family. But most of all, I'm tired of the lack of consequences and countless excuses for racist killing. Woo!
Oh, this was what happened in my shitter.
You know what? I've been a slacker, but I've got some videos too. I really want to put a video together about the woman's the one that sang.
It was just so silly. I mean, God, and defund the police department, and just a saddie, and just so sad here. I mean, I am so disappointed in. You know what? I mean, you know what? And not so much I'm just disappointed by the establishment. You know what? The establishment has gone full book burning.
Make them hear you. And I don't know if y'all know ragtime. You don't. You should look it up. I'm gonna educate you right now. And it's make them hear you. And I'll keep it brief. So I wanted to sing a little bit of it. My personal gift is maybe not public speaking, but I have a song in my heart.
Yes.
Tell our story. Let it echo far and wide. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. How justice was our battle and how justice was denied. Make them hear you.
Yeah, get that load from him. Make him hear you. Anyways, I got a video. I gotta post that. Yeah, I'll do that tonight after our show.
It's a bunch. Look, and I'm not gonna. You know what? It's a bunch of. It's a bunch of authoritarian leftist garbage. I mean, look, if they were open to debate, I saw her in that silly garb kneeling. If they were open to discussion or open to debate, they're not. They are authoritarian. Yeah, the UN is supposed to take over. Yeah.
Wow.
All windows are broken on your hotel. Yeah, it's garbage. It's complete garbage. And people are bending the knee to leftist outrage mobs, and they're getting people fired. They're getting people released. Like I said before, I forget his name, but the person from the Galaxy soccer team here in Los Angeles got released because his wife tweeted something, and he was forced to apologize, and endorse Black Lives Matter, and he still got shit canned. And it's ridiculous. It's absolutely absurd what's going on. And I've said it once, and I'll say it again. The establishment is behind heartless, vindictive, and cruel criminals that are the biggest opportunists. These riots and even these protests at this time are not about justice. In my opinion, once the riots began and you realize the riot, that's it right there.
I don't know if you just heard that, but there was just a massive firework that just went off right outside my house. Right outside. All week long. What's going on? Yes. I need 3 of those, please. Strong stuff right there.
But yeah, it's absolutely absurd what's going on, and I don't, I mean, I've got to believe that an intelligent, silent majority doesn't believe this garbage. I'm just surprised. I mean, like, if the majority of Americans believe this stuff, I would be surprised. This is bullying. I mean, this is oppressive. This is about oppression. This is about endorsing political violence, man. And Twitter is signing off on this garbage. It's just awful what's going on here. And Twitter, I thought Jack Dorsey was kind of a cool guy and listening to all thoughts. Hey man, he's just as bad as everybody else.
The LA Galaxy will meet with new Serbian winger Alexander Katai on Thursday to discuss a series of alarming social media posts by his wife. Tea Katai made the since deleted posts on her Instagram story this week. The Galaxy confirmed Wednesday night in a statement that called the posts racist and violent. Wow. They're going to kill protesters. Another called protesters disgusting cattle.
Yeah, okay, it was her, not him. Why should he be blamed?
Wow, but he was forced to disavow his wife's post.
Yeah, you got to disavow your wife. Yeah, and then they still fired him. And then they still fired the dude.
Wow.
It's like they can cancel you. They can. And did you see the Sesame Street? Did you see the Sesame Street thing they did?
No. No. But honey, I've got bad news for you. I disavowed your posts. And honey, I've got some worse news. I also got fired.
Yeah, isn't that great? But yeah, if you have time, look at Black Lives Matter Sesame Street.
No, thank you.
Yes, look at it now. We need to look at it. We need to watch it. This is what's being taught to our children. This poison is being taught to our kids. We don't have any kids, luckily.
Right. Not that I know.
None that we know of, yeah.
What is it? Sesame Street and Black Lives Matter?
Sesame Street, Black Lives Matter. Yeah.
Oh, man. Are you kidding me? Oh, I found it.
This is for the kiddie poos. This is brainwashing for our children. Let's brainwash our children. Let's redefine things and brainwash our kids. It's going to be wonderful.
Daddy, understand. What's happening? Why are
Oh, well, they're gathering together to protest.
protest? Emma doesn't understand. What's a protest?
A protest is when people come together to show they are upset and disagree about something. They want to make others aware of the problem. Through protesting, people are able to share their feelings and work together to make things better. They make signs like this.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm bringing this sign to the protest at the community center later.
Oh. They look upset. Are the protesters sad?
They are sad and upset, and they have every right to be, Elmo. People are upset because racism is a huge problem in our country.
Racism? What's that?
Oh, racism is when people treat other people unfairly because of the way they look or the color of their skin.
The color of their skin? Oh, Elmo doesn't understand, Daddy. Elmo has different types of skin. Oh, and fur, too. Black, brown, pink, purple.
I know, Elmo, but not all streets are like Sesame Street.
Oop.
On Sesame Street, we all love and respect one another. Across the country, people of color, especially in the Black community, are being treated unfairly because of how they look, their culture, race, and who they are. What we are seeing is people saying enough is enough. They want to end racism.
No. I want us to end racism too. I want us everybody to be treated fairly. What can Elmo do, Daddy? How can Elmo support his friends?
Oh, well, we can start by learning and talking about what is happening and take action. And you know, Elmo, we have some friends that can help.
Oh, it's ringing.
Hi, Elmo. Hi, Louie.
Oh no! Oh God!
Hi,
Good to see
Elmo.
you
Hi,
two.
Louie.
Hi.
Hi, Mr. Van and Miss
They've
Erica.
come to full propaganda mode. Oh my God! Oh God! Vomit bag! I'm sorry for this transparency. Can we turn this off for a second?
You know, that's a great.
Oh,
Joe, this kind of propaganda. And the thing is, if you question it, they cancel you. This is the most leftist garbage ever. And I'm going to leave it at there.
everybody needs to stand up and
You know
keep in
what?
mind.
You know, and maybe good people won't stand up, but when are good people going to stand up to this leftist, authoritarian garbage?
Don't, the worst thing you could do right now is sit at home in a ball in your basement, getting high and ignoring everything. Get out, get up, do something, speak your
Well,
mind.
you know, engage intelligently, find out who your allies are, and be intelligent, because you got to realize there are a lot of people out there that may not like you. And they, you know what? This group, by the way, this new civil rights group, they are very vindictive and they are very cruel, and they do not tolerate dissent very well. Ask Tucker Carlson. They tried to disavow him and they tried to get rid of his sponsors. Very awful what they did. This is digital book burning. This is modern day blacklisting. And they're all of the same things that they're doing that they accused the studios of doing, of blacklisting, they're doing today in the name of social justice. It's hypocritical. These are awful, terrible people. Anyway, is there anything else to add?
Yes, we're going to give Darren the last word. Yeah, let's end racism. I thought I was trying to do that my whole life, but I guess all efforts were for naught.
Hey, you know what, Darren? Why don't we end rape and murder too? Look, bad things exist. Doesn't mean we have to act like this. These protests are wrong.
Yeah, most of them that we see around here are white too.
Here's the deal. 1964, we signed the Civil Rights Act. I mean, some of the stuff that we've enacted into law, all the rest of this stuff is nothing. It's just garbage. It's a bunch of wordplay. It means nothing.
Subscribe to the damn podcast.
Yeah. And you know what? If you disagree, unlike other people, I'll allow you on. Like I did Angela when I tore her a new one. Even
we've got a few ideas for interviews, so let's get those going. And you know what? We're going to continue to do what we do. Work in the daytime and put our thoughts together and try to come here and share some thoughts with you. But we would like to hear more people, a broader spectrum of ideas and thoughts, and it'll help us move forward. So,
That's
all right. Anything else, Brian?
That'll do it.
All right. Get some fingernail polish and have a good old night.